Haha niho twokaga. Gũkũ rĩ, gũkũ nĩkuo twarĩhaga irio. No gũkĩra twakĩraga. Rĩu koguo rĩ, haha harĩ hakuhĩ twoka tũkahitha irio harĩa harĩ mũgũnda. Rĩu nao magoka moete, magagĩthiĩ nacio.
As a teenager during the uprising against British colonial rule, Leah Wanjiku Mbuthi was one of many women who smuggled supplies to the Mau Mau, Kenya's freedom fighters.
What would happen to a woman who was supporting the Mau Mau if she were caught by the British?
Ũgwati nĩ twamenyaga wĩ kuo. Twamenyaga kwarĩ ũgwati. Tondũ andũ aingĩ nĩ makĩũragirwo. Reke tuge nĩ maũndũ moru mũno mekirwo hĩndĩ ya emergency. Moru piũ.
Mbuthi's family was one of tens of thousands forcibly removed from their land to make room for British farmers, and the Mau Mau were fighting to get it back.
Nĩguo maikaraga, athũngũ moka rĩ, magĩcoka makĩingatwo, magĩthiĩ gũcaria kũrĩa megũikara. Na matiarĩ na handũ ha gũikara no gũthĩnĩka.
Kenya won independence in 1963, but it wasn't until 2013, after secret documents detailing colonial abuses came to light, that the UK formally acknowledged the atrocities carried out by its government.
The British government recognises that Kenyans were subject to torture and other forms of ill treatment at the hands of the colonial administration.
The British paid $3,400 to 5,228 Kenyans, mainly victims of severe torture, like castration and violent rape. But that left out the majority of those targeted during the crackdown on the Mau Mau, and their descendants didn't get the family land back. They say these injustices continue to shape and divide Kenya, and they want the government to make it right.
So this is all of your farmland?
In fact, this is where I want to base my house.
Stanley Wamagunda is a grandson of a district chief, one of thousands of Kenyans who collaborated with the British. Known as Home Guards, they turned Mau Mau supporters over to the British to be tortured and killed.
My grandfather came to be a Christian. Yeah, he got saved. But there are some things that they could have done that even my grandmother would not tell me, because in a way, it would hurt me.
Did he get all of those benefits from being a collaborator, the land, the big house?
I would say yes. I would say yes. Where else? He must have benefited from it. He would appoint somebody and give him a piece of land.
So he surrounds himself with home guards.
Exactly. The other day I was giving it a thought. I was thinking about, is it really possible to look for equity for all Kenyans, and especially the freedom fighters? And when I look at it, I find it is not very possible. Equity in the essence that people did not get land. Most of the freedom fighters did not get even a piece of land.
Wamagunda is taking part in a monthly intergenerational dialogue hosted by a group of young podcasters and filmmakers. Conversations like this one are still taboo in Kenya.
Okay, welcome. Wenye walitoka mbali.
Wabere tondu nayo nĩ thirikari yatongoretio nĩ pro the whites, arĩa masapotaga the whites, matingĩetĩkĩrire gũtwĩra ũhoro wa Mau Mau ũrĩa Mau Mau yarũagĩra bũrũri.
With the current situation and the current government, as far as I'm concerned, what they are doing, they are still home guards for the white people. Because if they start giving that land, they are going to have to force white people to also give up their land.
Even them, there is...
Aruto. Na arĩa angĩ mena lands.
The current president is one example of the way elites still benefit from the legacy of colonialism. He's the son of the country's first president, who many told us was a traitor to the fight for independence.
How are you? Yeah?
For Kenyans like lawyer and former member of parliament Paul Mwite, it's past time to begin the process of reconciliation.
There needs to be set up a commission of inquiry. In my view, this is not something that can be left to the British government alone, because even the Kenya government has got responsibility. It goes back to the founding father, the president. He jumped to the side of the Home Guards. So the Mau Mau were marginalized and isolated, and that has continued.
So do you see that as just a continuation of the system that colonialism set up?
Without a doubt. I mean, the colonialists came here. They made the Africans work on their farms with their cattle for very little fee. The Africans took over and continued with the same policies. So you have a huge divide of those who have, who haven't.
You don't think it's too late to rectify this issue, that it'll kick up all sorts of conflict over land?
Injustice inflicted on a people is permanent. And the bad feelings will always be there until that injustice is corrected.
6 government officials turned down our requests for an interview on the legacy of the Mau Mau. To those who have been waiting for recognition and justice for decades, their silence comes as no surprise.
Do you have any faith or confidence that you will receive something from the Kenyan government?
Tutire na hope yo. Tutire na tutire na isiria ri tondu riri ko iho ri ithu tutingikihetwo.
You know, when I sit there, or when I go to the forest, I imagine what we were doing.
Yeah.
You see? And we did not go there in the forest to have a picnic.
At 88 years old, Muthenge Waireri is part of the last group of surviving Mau Mau fighters.
That is a cave.
So this was the hospital cave?
That is a hospital cave.
So for 3 years you slept in places like this?
Yeah.
Does it bring back memories?
Well, I remember so many. You see, I feel dizzy. Yeah, I can feel a little bit dizzy. You know, when you remember something, sometimes you don't like it. See?
Yeah, it's
because
difficult.
you feel something which is not good. Yeah.
You're too tall for this place. Watch your head.
Yes.
After 3 years fighting in the forest, Waireri was caught and sent to a British prison without charge.
The punishment which we get there, it was very bad because we were undressed, naked for 7 days. For beating, I would say it is for everybody. But what I remember is the punishment of staying naked.
So they were quite brutal.
Not brutal, terrible. Because we wanted to have a freedom, we have to obey all this. You see, when you are beaten, when you are in imprisonment, when you are anywhere, when you are killed, you see, because we wanted to have a freedom, you see.